Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So it seems that Prince Harry is moving further and further to the discard Markled pile. By the minute, by the day, by the second, I think that when lockdown is lifted, Prince Harry is probably going to be served with a cold hard divorce. And here is why. Meghan Markle seems to have weaseled her way into the hearts of Black Hollywood elite, and they are posted up in Tyler Perry's £14 million mansion in Beverly Hills. Surprise, surprise. But that's not only the most alarming thing that's really going on recently, but then how can it really be alarming because we're talking about Meghan Markle here? But Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have recently also hired Victoria Beckham and David Beckham's former Hollywood advisor. She goes by the name of Rebecca Mostow, and she is 70 years old, so she's quite mature, but she seems to be really good at her job, and she's very popular with the Hollywood A-listers. She has worked for people such as Seal, and she also worked for Prince. Yeah, Prince, the Black Prince, the late Prince, who unfortunately passed away. And so she's really good at her job, and I'm just thinking she's been in the industry for at least 30 years. She can't be cheap at all. So I imagine her salary would be around £1 million, which is something that, yes, the British taxpayer are paying for, even though we have a lot of biased publications out there saying that Meghan and Harry are individually funded, they're privately funded, they're not funded by the British taxpayer, but we know that that is a lie. They are still funded by the British taxpayer because they haven't worked. Prince Harry has never kept a job, and anything that he does get from the duchy from Prince Charles is from the taxpayer. We can just scrap that concept. Anyway, they're now hiring this fancy personnel, these fancy Hollywood staff members, which they can ill afford. They're renting Tyler Perry's mansion. Well, allegedly, they're not renting it. It seems to have been loaned to them. I personally think that it has been loaned to them, and I'm going to tell you guys why. What I really would like to touch upon also is that this very solemn video popped up online regarding Prince Harry. Prince Harry appeared, he popped up on my home feed, and I thought, oh God, he really has got the lockdown look going on. But we know that this is Prince Harry, and he looked very run down, solemn, and quite depressed, and like he needed to visit the barbers way before we went into lockdown. So Prince Harry popped up, he done a surprise video, which we know is all for PR. And he was banging on about how today would have been the day of the Invictus Games, but unfortunately it's been cancelled, and how his life has drastically changed. And this just really translated to me was that, how did your life drastically change? Is Meghan not talking to you anymore? She's now hanging around in this mansion with her A-lister friends. I don't think many people are talking to Harry. And we also know that quite a few months, I think it was last month, it surfaced online that Prince Harry has actually been desperately calling his friends back home in the UK, where I'm from, in the UK, talking about how he misses his old military life and how he feels that things would have been a lot better if he still retained his military titles and didn't lose them and still had that royal connection. So I think that Prince Harry is definitely feeling very isolated and lonely. I don't think that Meghan Markle's talking to him that much, and we've certainly all seen that baby video online. We've all seen that baby video of her interacting with Archie for his first birthday, and it really didn't seem like it was Archie's first birthday. It seemed like it was Meghan's first birthday, to be honest. It was all about her, and she wasn't taking any cues from her baby that he actually wasn't interested in that book, and he wasn't really engaging with that book, and he found it quite boring. But it was all about her, me again, Meghan. And I just think this is what's going on. I think that baby Archie is just spending a lot of time in the arms of the nanny or the surrogate mother. Who knows? Allegedly, she did use a surrogate. And I think that's the one who's actually taking full-time care of Archie, because she's clearly not. Prince Harry I think he's isolated. I think he's on his own. Anyway, so they're hiring these fancy advisors. Now it comes to them. Allegedly, Oprah organised this connection between them flying from Canada to Hollywood to the Beverly Hills, and apparently this was well thought out, this was well planned in advance. They actually planned this move months in advance, and allegedly Tyler Perry sent down his £120 million private plane in order to collect them from their former Vancouver mansion. And Harry doesn't really feature in any of this. Meghan Markle is only serving herself. It seems that reports are coming out that she's really, really happy now in LA. She's surrounded by really good close friends. One called Benita Litt, another one called Heather Doral, and another one called Abigail Spencer. But it seems that Meghan Markle seems to change friends like she changes underwear. What happened to her relationship with Jessica Maroney? What happened to her relationship with Serena Williams? Allegedly, Serena Williams does actually own a mansion and resides in Beverly Hills, not far from it. And we know that she surfaced online a while back, just a few weeks back, with the whole Disney dress on and saying that it doesn't fit. You can have a look here. I'm going to insert clips as I speak. So we know that Serena Williams threw some shade at Meghan and threw some shade regarding the role with Disney that she had begged for, that she got Harry to beg for. We know that she asked him to do that to make it come off as though she wasn't desperate and to get him to do all the dog's work. Because let's face it, what has she really conquered on her own? We know that her main claim to fame and her main entitlement and desperation for a role in Disney could only have been really fleshed out by Harry's royal connections. So she got him as her loving, doting husband to beg for the role. And Serena Williams mocked this. She took the mickey out of this, along with her husband, who made references on Twitter to people who don't really do the hard graft to get up there. And we know that he's a very successful businessman in his own right. He owns Reddit. Serena Williams obviously is the world star tennis player of the world. These two people are grafters, they are hard workers, and they really didn't appreciate Meghan Markle showing up during her US Open, which she subsequently did lose, and her family actually pointed the finger silently at Meghan's presence when she was clearly asked to not be there. They were very miffed that she actually showed up, so she has essentially been cut off. Jessica Maroney was allegedly Meghan Markle's best friend. She was meant to be a sister, and Meghan Markle was also extracting upon her relationship with Justin Trudeau, who is the current Prime Minister. Yes, guys, I got that right this time. Current Prime Minister of Canada. And Jessica Maroney is also the fashion designer to Justin Trudeau's wife, Sophie Trudeau. That is the way in which they apparently got the Canadian taxpayer to fund their security allowances and fund their security fees while they was in Canada. That relationship, that trio of three people that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry was heavily relying on, and we know that this was through Meghan Markle's connections because she was a Toronto Canadian girl for quite some time before she married Harry. She was there for about 7 years, I believe, trying to break into the acting industry. That seems to have fizzled down. It seems to have ended. It seems to have come to a grinding halt, and now she has this new clique. It's just very strange that Tyler Perry would be doing all of this for free, giving her the mansion for free, Oprah being so interested. But we know, what does Tyler Perry do? He makes films. What does Oprah do? She gets interviews. I definitely do believe that Meghan Markle is orchestrating her break into Hollywood, and I definitely think that Meghan Markle is going to stand on the black, meaning I believe that Meghan Markle is going to possibly start saying that Archie is an African American boy and saying that she is an African American and really exploiting this whole biracial descent. There's nothing wrong with Meghan Markle talking about black issues or exploiting black Hollywood or trying to stand on black Hollywood, because we know that Meghan Markle failed miserably at trying to make it in Hollywood as a white woman. She was ticking the Caucasian box and the roles simply weren't breaking out for her. I think she shared this in quite a few interviews, talking about the way in which, because of the way she looks, she just wasn't really getting the roles. She wasn't black enough for the black roles, she wasn't white enough for the white roles, and she was really struggling. We know that she really wanted to carve Britain out as a racist, archaic, a pessimistic country. We know that she wanted to paint us out as a bunch of bigots, a bunch of misogynists, a bunch of just really negative, nasty, low-down people. And this was her formation of going back to Hollywood, I believe, as an African-American woman and exploiting this whole racist African-American aspect in order to break it into Hollywood. I think that's the angle that Meghan Markle is trying to do. I think she's trying to get that corners back because she knows that by standing as a black woman and claiming her black side, she is definitely going to have success, and a lot of the black sugars are going to lap this up. I mean, she has an army of black female women who absolutely love her just because she has basically allegedly spoken out against this racism, which is non-existent. I don't think Meghan Markle was a victim of racism, but basically because she screamed out racism, she's played the race card. She has this long army of black women who will be running out to watch any Tyler Perry production that she's in. So that's what I think Tyler Perry stands to gain. And what does Tyler Perry stand to gain? Harry doesn't really have a place anymore. When lockdown is lifted, I believe that Meghan Markle right now is sitting down with 5 scripts in her lap, and she's locked and loaded, ready to go with the interview with Oprah and with these possible film roles with Tyler Perry. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that Harry will be receiving the divorce court settlement very, very soon. And it's very tragic for Harry. It hasn't been a very long run for him, has it really? I think the marriage is pretty much coming to an end. She is going to be dumping baby Archie with the nanny that she clearly already is. We've all seen it. She didn't look connected to the child. She didn't look maternal, and he was working on his own first birthday. A lot of people reported, why couldn't he just have a special day? Why did he have to be sitting there promoting Save the Children? Anyway, guys, so that's all for now. I'm definitely going to cover this a lot more. I think a lot more will be leaking out into the media, probably is as I speak. And I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.